Hi there, it's Sam from Pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's project is a big old box. This is a kind of a manly box. I've had goodness knows how many male birthdays in the last couple of weeks. 2 sons, a husband, a nephew and a brother-in-law, I think. I think we've got everybody. So you often see me making boxes that have been, you know, finished with bows and flowers and very girly sort of things. So I wanted to do a manly version, and I think the Retro Fresh paper, and in fact the whole suite, really lends itself to that. Well, I'm going to show you how to open it. It's got a permanent seal for the bottom, but the top does open, and you can put your goodies in there. So you're not going to shred the box, although actually probably a bloke would. You know, that's the kind of thing that they would do. But it definitely is kind of a manly style box, and I'm going to show you how to make it. Now I've got Coastal Cabana this time. I'm just going to grab my scoring tool. That was Tangerine Tango that I had in here, but I'm going to do the Coastal Cabana version. You need a piece of cardstock that is 12 by 12 inches, which is 30.5 by 30.5 centimetres. You're not going to see the bottom because it's gone off screen by, about that much. But trust me, it's 12 by 12. So you start, I was going to say you start the long side at the top. It's a square piece of paper. It doesn't matter which side you start at. So the first score line is at 2 7/8 of an inch, which is 7.5 centimetres, 5 3/4 of an inch, which is 15 centimetres, 8 5/8 of an inch, which is 22.5 centimetres, and 11.5 inches. And the metrics you're going to score at 30 centimetres, so you've only got half a centimetre to put your sticky strip on, but it's fine, it can be done. Then the next score line, you turn it round and you score this time at 2 7/8 of an inch, which is 7.5 centimetres, 8 5/8 of an inch, which is 22 centimetres, and then you score it at, I can't see my notes, 11.5 inches, 29.5 centimetres. So that's the scoring. If you've written it all down, bravo. I probably should have said at the beginning you don't need to write it down, it's all on my blog. Anyway, fold on all of the score lines and burnish well. So get a good bone folder, and I never thought there was much in it with bone folders. I just kind of thought, you know, a bone folder's a bone folder. And then when I joined Stampin' Up and started obviously selling the supplies, I thought, well, I'll get an official Stampin' Up one to use in my videos. And it made a massive difference. It is smaller than my original, which I will grab in a second. Smaller but heavier, and I don't have to do as much work. This is my old one. I now use it for re-inking my ink pads. But this one's a lot lighter, so this, just being that bit heavier, makes a huge difference. So no, a bone folder isn't just a bone folder. There is a definite difference between them. Right, so I'm just folding these, and then the last ones, and I think I've just made my quilt paper all wibbly. I'm sorry. There we go. So we've got a small little section here at the top, and then a wide one, this long part, and then the bottom. So we're going to work on the bottom first, just because that makes sense. So cut all of these score lines, cut all of them up. And then you'll come to a little section here that's a very skinny rectangle. We don't need that bit, get rid of that. All of that off. And then when you come to the top part here, you've got a skinny little side over here. If I tilt that so you can see it, and then this one ends with a wide bit. Over here we want to remove 4 pieces, so it's the top skinny and the left hand skinny and that tiny little cubey box there and this big one. Don't need any of that, get rid of the whole lot. So, oops. That's all 4 of those gone, and we don't need those at all. But they would be good. I mean, that is quite a big section. I mean, that's not cardstock you chuck in the bin, that's cardstock you use for scraps. Anyway, and then keep cutting down these parts here and notch in ever so very slightly on the middle one. What we need this to be is a perfectly straight line. Otherwise the close will be a little bit clumsy. And the same over here. And then the middle one is actually what's going to fold in. So these ones here, you take off, I would say, oh gosh, I don't know, maybe a third. Yeah, that's about right. Cut off about a third. I'm going to trim that slightly neater there. And those are the bits that are going to fold in. So grab your corner rounder and just round off all of those corners there. And this one here, apart from the fact that it makes it a prettier finish, it's a better close, having these edges rounded off. So get rid of all of those bits. Now I want to put my designer series paper on now, and I'm stayed with the Retro Fresh, but I went with this lovely, oh, I don't know what you'd call them, lumps, half circles, sort of kind of like, I don't know, retro rainbows almost. So we need 4 pieces that are 5.5 inches long by 2 5/8 of an inch, which is 14 by 7 centimetres. So we need 4 of those, and then you need 1 for the top that is 2 5/8 by 2 5/8, which is 7 by 7. And that's going to go on this bit. So I'm going to put snail on that. I don't know which way round I'm going to put it, that bit will do. And obviously when you're using a pattern that has a very obvious up or down, do make sure that you trim it correctly first. Otherwise you might have bits that are going in that direction. That wouldn't be good. Although it would be fun. And yes, I've really taken to the Retro Fresh paper. I just really didn't like it at all at first, and that was based on looking at it in the catalogue. And I believe in complete honesty with you. And yeah, when I saw it in the catalogue, when we were able to, you know, when we were looking at it, I just kept thinking, oh, I really don't like that. And then it kept getting offered as incentives, and then it was a giveaway at convention last year, and I just thought, really, you keep giving me this stuff? I don't like it. But, you know, when I got it, I had to, you know, hold my hands up and say, actually, it is really nice. Sorry, I'm just, oh, there goes my phone. Sticky strip on this loose edge here, just up next to the score line. A piece on there. And depending on how heavy it is, whatever it is you're putting inside, you can either put sticky strip on all of these parts. I'm not, I'm just going to put it on one. So yeah, the Retro Fresh, I think it's for me with designer paper, if I look at it in the catalogue and I like half of the sheets, then I will buy it, because I can know that I can use, you know, all of it then, because I just don't use the sides I don't like. And invariably when I get it home and I start unpacking it and looking at it and touching it, I will like an awful lot more than, you know, just 50%. So I'm just going to peel off this here. And I'm firm, you know, I've never been one of these people who just buys paper and then just looks at it. I do use it. I would very happily use paper. Oh look, this is such a tall box. I'm practically in your faces here. I'm so sorry. Okay, last 2 bits off there and there. And then these parts, look, this is such a tall box. My camera is only, I don't know, 12 inches off the desk. Fold the sides in, and then this bit will fold over. And at this point, if it's not quite perfectly slotting inside, which actually it is, but you would come back and do a little bit of trimming. So I'm going to finish with a tiny bit of stamping. I'm keeping the lovely wooden elements that I just think are so much fun. And because this is a manly box, I didn't want to put too much on it. I don't think my husband would, well, he probably wouldn't notice or appreciate the fact that I'd put gorgeous stamping and what have you on, but you know, I want to put a little token something on. So I've got the hip notes again from the same suite. I've taken the You and Me, and I'm going to put it on the speech bubble. Is it going to fit? Yes, it fits. Lovely. So I'm going to let that dry just for a second while I sponge up the little arrow. And then on the speech bubble as well. Try not to stick my fingers on it. And I've got some glue dots, oh gosh, at the end of the roll here. Have that one there. There, and then I haven't got any more of the chevron ribbon that I used in this one. I need to order some more. So I've just grabbed my cotton trim, and because this is a manly box, a chap is not going to want a bow on the top, which is a really good job because I can't tie the flipping things anyway. So I'm just going to put a knot in and hope it looks okay. There we go, not bad. That's not too bad a knot. So obviously if you want to do a feminine version, you know, you put all sorts on it, but that is my big old box, and that is a big box. It's just under 3 inches all the way round by just under 6 inches. So my phone's now ringing. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. Hope to speak to you soon.